From its old rounded mountains to its low-lying hollers, the lush forests and dusty cabins of Appalachia are filled with history and mystery. A place where local legend and historical fact are mended into a beautiful thread in the tapestry of not only our nation's but our world's history. Join me on this journey as we hear Appalachia's Whispers. And we're rolling. So, hello everybody. My name is Zach, and this will be kind of an introduction into a new channel that I'm doing. It's called Mystical Appalachia, and this channel is going to be about the history, the folklore, and the general culture of Appalachia. What makes Appalachia so unique, and what made Appalachia the leaders of the country that we now know as the United States of America. And when I say the leaders of this country, I don't mean in government. I mean the leaders by example. Appalachia started out as kind of the rough wild child of this continent, with a melting pot of people living in it in its early days. Of course, you had the first Appalachians, which were the Native Americans, who were very diverse in a lot of different ways, depending on what tribe they were, depending on where they lived, depending on what beliefs they held. You can't just fit all of them into one subset, but we do know that the Native Americans were the forefront of what would become Appalachia. Now, after the Native Americans done lived here for thousands of years, then came European settlers. The Irish, the Dutch, the Germans, the Scottish, and English, who came in to these rugged mountains in order to start their own life, in order to have a sense of freedom about themselves. Then, along with these European settlers, also came Africans, though not in the greatest of circumstances, but they are none of the less a very, very big part of the lore, the history, and the culture of Appalachia. So, that begs the question, what are the Appalachian beliefs? What are the core values that makes up Appalachia? Well, Christianity, yes, is a big part of it. But there was a certain kind of Christianity, a certain animist Christianity that come out of this that was more so involved with nature and with the earth, that really contributed to the reason why Appalachian culture is so unique to America. Now, I'm sure that you heard your grandma or your parents or your great-grandparents talking about some old traditions that might be kind of unfamiliar to you. Things like hanging brooms over top of doorways. Things like throwing peppercorns out the door to bring in luck. Things like painting your ceiling of your porch blue in order to keep out the haints. Things of that sort. And this is all a blended tradition, blended together throughout the years to create what we know today as Appalachian culture. So, I'm going to start off with how Appalachia became the forefront to American liberty and became the forefront to the idea of America. So, the original Appalachians that came here for freedom and success and freedom of religion in their own right, they came in here to establish themselves. They were far away from any king, any government. They were far away from any outside influence, per se. And they had to basically carve a life out of this rugged landscape that was mountainous, woodsy, where there was predators prowling about, where it was harsh winters, and even very, very hot and humid summers. Particularly in the county that I live in Virginia, Buchanan County, which is now the poorest county in the Commonwealth, but it used to not be that way. Thousands of people came to Buchanan County to stake their claim in the coal industry, which really boomed in the early 20th century. My bad. Really boomed in the early 20th century. So they came in here for a new opportunity. And Grundy, Virginia became one of the richest cities in the United States. Even so far to get a nickname called the Black Diamond of the Commonwealth. Nowadays, people have forgotten what it took their ancestors to do to make Buchanan County the Black Diamond of the Commonwealth that has fallen from grace today, a true landmark in Virginia. Buchanan County was brought about in 1859 out of Tazewell and Russell counties. But there were settlers here long before then. Stories, traditions, families, things of that sort. And I will be starting this project, Appalachian Whispers, in my county because of the fact that it is where I live. But eventually, our plan is to go farther, to set our sights farther, and to explore. Really, I want to send a message with this channel. That your ancestors were once great. That you are not just broken and downtrodden. And that you can be something. It takes hard work, effort, and that fighting spirit that made Appalachia great. So welcome to the channel, y'all. I hope you guys will like it. We got a lot of plans in the works. And my partner in this is a guy named Derek Cole. He also has a YouTube channel, which I do encourage you guys to subscribe to. We will be doing podcasts there every week. I'm going to try to upload at least 2 or 3 times a week. And if that gets a little bit too strenuous, I may cut it down to once a week. But we're going to be doing history, interviews, culture, and paranormal investigation on top of that. Interviewing the mysterious about our county on top of the historical facts. Eventually, we're going to make our way into all of Southwest Virginia and maybe even into other states. So that is something that I would love to look forward to. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good night.